You watch it? It's so behind.
It's okay. We're done with it now.
You can watch it. Hey y'all, we here at the Real Talk Back. I'm with the Ladies' Choice, episode 4, and y'all can introduce yourselves. I'm out. Oh. Hello, I'm Rebekah, known as Bex.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm DJ Sasha B.
Hello, my name's Texas West.
Hello, what's up? My name is She.
She is she.
Okay, let's start off with this question. Why did you say yes to Real Talk?
Can we answer in any order or we go left to right?
Whatever.
Feel led by the spirit.
You can go.
I was gonna say, I think it's really awesome what you guys are doing with the whole Real Talk situation, and I think a lot of freestyle artists talk about putting ourselves out there more and having more platform to be put on the forefront for people to know more about us, to see more what we do, understand the process, and so I think just the mission statement for Real Talk is a really awesome one, and so when Josh hit me and said we're gonna do a Ladies' Choice, I was completely down for it because I just thought, it's a good thing to get behind. You never know how much this can grow for another person or another group of people, and I think the platform is very positive, so that's what made me say yes.
Thank you. Thank you guys for coming. Like, y'all made my day. All right. Next. Anybody?
Oh, I can go. I said yes because you guys haven't had a lady DJ yet, and it was my honor and my pleasure to be there spinning for y'all. And yeah, I super love the vibe that you're setting, and I love what Shay and Josh are creating for the community. This whole BET style rap battle cipher, but in a dance and performing arts style is so fly to me. So I was just all in for the win. At the moment he presented just everything about it, the show and everything, I was like, I'm in.
For sure.
Yeah. Mine's real simple. No, but yeah, Josh is cool, Shay's cool, you cool. So I was like, why not? What the heck? And then the environment and the way you guys made it sound, it's been a while since I've seen something like this and even done anything like this. So I was like, yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And y'all name is on the roster, so I was like,
Yeah. That for sure. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
So-
like the. Oh, sorry.
No, cause it's been a while, so it was just like, okay, dope environment, dope artists, let's go, let's share.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a mixture of all the, what these ladies said. For me, as soon as Josh hit me up, I was like, it's y'all, so I'm with it.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
my
appreciate
homies,
that.
from back in the day, so.
For sure.
I'm with it, but I was like, yo, tell me a little bit about it. And when he told me the whole purpose, with me, I don't like doing nothing unless it serves a purpose
That
or
part.
it serves other people. So when I found out about it, I was like, oh yeah, this is lit. And then I got in the group, and then I saw all y'all names. I was like, oh, you got a whole group of queens. You might as well call this one Black Girl Magic.
Oh, we did not. We did this on purpose, guys. We did it on purpose. It's for real. It's too much stuff going on. We need to uplift each other. Of course, we done this on purpose.
Yeah.
So another question I have for you guys: do y'all have any favorite dancers of the episode so far, or in general?
Of our episode or in
Episode of Real Talk that y'all seen, or in general, what you see going on now in the industry?
I think it's hard for me to pinpoint a specific group of people. I can name people and keep going.
Right,
For me, because there's so many different types of styles and different
Part.
types of just approaches. I think that you can find that anybody that kind of pretty much sticks to being themselves, like very
Yeah.
authentic, I probably love their guts, even if they don't know it, even if you don't see me like videos. You know, there are certain people that when you go out, it's kind of like it's like, not to compare me to Superman, but if you're from Krypton and you see other Kryptonians and you're like, yeah, this person's tapping in, you know.
I
So
like that.
I think I have a lot of favorites that I just can't straight out and say.
Right.
But I do love an authentic dancer, like a person
Yeah,
that's just
true to themselves.
marching on it to their own drum. for sure.
Me too.
You can read that through film,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, video, and live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Live performance. Like you can tell the authenticity is like screaming at you.
Yeah.
through the
Right.
camera
Yeah.
Or a live performance. Like that's how you know it's an authentic dancer when they look the same they do live and they do in like a video.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important. Cause like,
I mean, I got some folks I could pinpoint.
let's go. I got one.
I got some folks, you know, like, I really respect Outrage.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like he's so underrated. Like, he's so unique. Like, I don't know if he's been on the show
Is he really
yet,
underrated?
but, well, I would say
Industry wise,
Industry
some of
wise,
the
yeah.
because that's how I feel about Dread too.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Him and Dread, I'm like,
Yeah.
Freestyle,
Excuse my
freestyle
language,
world.
real niggas know.
Yes.
you're right. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Freestyle
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
no, but industry wise, I think that he is.
Very underrated, yeah.
Somebody else, I don't even know, like, I don't know if you know him, but Jay Breeze, like, That's-
The homie.
Yeah.
The homie.
Yeah.
and freaking insane, like, that's an alien right there. And then, I mean, I love you and Yogi.
Yeah.
I love y'all so
Yeah.
much. I'll be like even saving all y'all videos.
No, I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's great.
I would say for sure everybody you had on this show is like super fire.
Right.
I'm gonna shout out. Oh, Chantel's not here. Teasy,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
she's so dope, so pure, so young, so hungry, and I love that about her.
Indeed.
She's an alien. I'm gonna shout out Martina Android, and of course these are my favorite girls. To see, like Celubaya and all their like autism. You know, Celu just went into her first battle ever, which was the R&B
Yeah,
battle,
she did that.
and she killed it.
Yeah,
It was
I saw
her
it.
first battle ever.
Yeah.
And then last one, I'm just, this is old news. You probably all love him already, but Shaq famous. This like.
Oh yeah, that dude, you could go on.
Yeah.
I know.
You can leave him in there for 10 songs and he still don't get tired.
Where's all this? This is just like
You got such
I
variety.
have a newfound love for his choreography. Just recently started taking his class. What a big plug at ML, y'all go
Right.
on Monday, and it's like it's just a whole new respect for him as a freestyler and as a choreography dancer. So
Yeah.
I was gonna reiterate again, all of them. And all of them. Just like, go crazy.
That's good. That's good. That's good, everybody on
Yeah, but you surprise the hell out of me sometimes. Like I think people be forgetting how the difference between you as a choreographer, dancer, and
And
freestyle.
yeah.
I always knew you as a choreography beast, and then when you freestyle, I'm like,
It's one and the same. You
Yeah.
can see it in the
and that's not in everybody. That's true.
It's not true. Everybody can take the things that they feel freely and put it into a format.
Yeah, because I'm like,
That's hard.
choreo
You know,
and freestyle for me?
physicality.
Nah, baby, that's two different things for
hard,
me.
yeah.
It's two different things. It is.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, but then it's like, because choreo, it's like you still gotta freestyle they dance moves,
Yeah.
but you gotta get they dance moves.
Exactly.
And then freestyle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I'm like the same like as she. Like I don't really have a favorite. I appreciate just people that are just
Same.
real. That speak. The most powerful to me is when they speak when they dance. Like when people can just
Right.
tell a story. Like
Love that.
you don't have to say anything and just dance and the pureness and when just leveling up.
You mean like how
me
you
just-
do?
Right? Girl,
Telling the whole damn story.
I thought I was almost in tears. I'm like,
I know, right?
you better.
That's my boo right
Yeah,
there.
that one. Yes. I was like, you better tell this story. Tell it, please.
No, for
They
real.
make me cry.
Cause it's like you can either like dance on the surface or you can go beyond. Yeah.
Right.
And like we gifted as dancers, we gifted with this gift to go beyond.
Yeah.
Go higher.
It's
I
very
think
Certain dances definitely have an anointing. It's
Yeah.
definitely-
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a spirit there. There's a purpose, like a greater purpose than just kind of like the movement. It's supposed to change people, the way that they, Yeah, I definitely agree. It's like
100%.
it's a responsibility
Cause even
Yeah.
like
to be an artist for real.
It
like,
does.
the thing that's crazy to me is like sometimes when I watch my freestyles and I see them, I'm like, who is that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
literally.
don't
you can
remember
see
what you
the
did.
Spirit, like you can see it on you, you can see it on other people. So it's like, and at least like for me, I started dancing in church. So
Yeah.
Same.
that's
Same. Right? We all
stop
did.
Oh, my people said
Stop.
stop.
Hey, hey.
Oh, my folks said stop. Yeah, so it's definitely an anointing.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? I said.
All right. What was another question? What was the first dance style or influencers that got you started?
Oh, sorry.
So just went back to childhood.
Right?
Okay, mine was crazy. Mine was West African. Like, I literally just used to dance like all the time. I feel like every dancer got that story. Like, I used to dance all the time. It was just in us. It's in our bodies.
Right.
But I used to dance, and it's crazy because as much as I started struggling getting myself back into like entering in a battle, like last year or 2 years ago, I actually started off battling in middle school. But you know, it wasn't that serious. You know, the neighborhood, like you know, like I wanna go
That
dance.
was me too.
Oh, this is like
Doing the chicken head.
Yeah, all that, you know, the heel toe, you know, when you just like, oh, she got the heel toe, girl, oh, she can do the wobbly. And you pick up the head and throw and then hit the back with it.
Yep.
But that, and then like West African was the first like choreography, like picking up that. And then from there, it just went,
For sure.
to the YouTubes and stuff. And then I came out there like,
It's different. It's different.
Whole different life. Oh, so nobody was gonna tell me about this. Nobody, y'all don't want to put that on YouTube? No.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
I thought she was about to start.
I was just thinking like that's like so far back. My first style, like really in middle school, I started like I did cheer and then I didn't want to do track because track was elongating my muscles. No, they were shortening my muscles and dance was like elongating my muscles and I kept doing that in like track season, dance season in high school. So then the coaches like pick one, I picked dance. So I got to get a feel for the football team and football, all that. But you know, in the South, it's real like the band is like a big deal. And so it was like an honor to be a part of the dance team in that type of like environment when the band being part of the band was a big deal. And then I remember my dance coach, we'd have like those yearly recitals, and then we'd be doing jazz and palm routines. And I was like, yo, why we don't do like no hip hop? Like Aaliyah's popping right now, Janet's popping, like J-Lo's out. Like why don't we do that? And she was like, well, that's not my expertise, Sasha. So if you want to make up those routines in hip hop for the girls for 2-3 numbers, you could do it. And then I was like, I will. I will. And then I did. And then I started. And then I thought I was going to be like this crazy choreography dancer person. Like, I want to choreograph for the rest of my life. And then I became a break dancer. Yeah. And then that happened. And I recognize the difference between an amazing choreographer. Like, I'm more of a teacher than a choreographer. And there's a difference. And not a lot of people don't recognize that. And then there's another difference between like a creative and the talent. Like I'm a really good executor at someone else's choreography and I'm a good teacher, but the choreography part wasn't always my forte. So then I was like, I found my place, but that's like figuring out my soul, who I am really and all that while moving to LA. So.
Yeah, right.
I mentioned it, but I started dancing in church, so my first dancing was praise dancing, and it was more so like I was just doing it because I'm like, I love God, so I'm about to dance. So yeah, but I didn't really like take it serious or anything like that. It was more so like when I moved out here from Texas, I was still a freshman in high school. And so I was like, Mom, like, Dad, I hate it out here. I don't want to be here. I hate it, da-da-da-da. I want to move back. But then, you know, like, I found TM Juniors, Team Millennia.
Oh, yay.
Back in the day.
Oh,
and I started dancing with TM Juniors. And then I was like, oh, okay, I like LA. You know, I can dance. And I did that whole community life. So that was when I kind of, you know, was really getting into it, the whole hip-hop style and choreography and all that stuff. And then as far as like getting into other things, like, I mean, I did it in high school, like the lyrical and contemporary and all that, but pretty much like once I graduated high school, it was just hip hop. That was all I really focused on. And then the whole freestyling aspect, that kind of came out of nowhere when I got thrown in a circle, and it was just like, all right, Krista, fuck it, just do whatever. Just do whatever. And then I did whatever, and then people was like, oh shit, like,
That's what
I was
happened.
like, oh, okay, all right.
I can do this.
I can do this. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's a, you know, that basic kind of evolution of dance, but pretty much like if
That's not basic, first of all.
But
Second of all, most choreography community dancers still don't know how to freestyle. Or just like read their soul for themselves. So
that's
like,
true. That's true.
Unless they're Team Millennium and they're like part of your crew. I'm sure anybody around you do.
No, I didn't make Team Millennium. They said, nah, you only good enough for juniors. But then the next year they came back and was like, hey, we want you to audition for a Team Millennium. I'm like, I'm on another team and I'm the director, so
Oops.
you missed your opportunity. I mean, I love the team. I mean, that's my foundation, but still, that's just how it all started. So, I mean, I'm grateful for LA and California because I wouldn't have become the dancer that I did, but that was the only thing that made me actually like being out here. So,
Nice.
For me, my original style was, well, I was influenced by a lot of things. I was always freestyling, and I think that was just like life. Like, you go to school, you go to pep rallies, you jigging in the, you know what I'm saying, crowd, all your friends. So I was always that person. It was always like, you know, go dance, like, go do your
That
thing.
was me.
You
That
know,
was
me,
go
you know,
Shay. Go.
So, I think Memphis juking was a thing for me for sure. I was heavily raised in church, so honestly, I put it on my Instagram the other day, and I tell people all the time, like, it sounds funny, but shouting is a real like influence of my footwork. Like, to really see people shout.
You watch their footwork, they be going in.
Nice. Yeah, no, they got the nicest footwork. So.
And we really learn from the older heads. Imagine.
So it was just like juking.
I wish we could put like a little video clip on here, like in a corner.
Like,
I know. One day. We gonna get there. We gonna get there, y'all. We gonna get there.
No, but
Baby
those
step.
are like my things because church was a heavy influence for me, and then just being from Memphis. I mean, Memphis is, everyone knows what gangsta walking is. Everyone knows what juking is. My mama gangsta walks. Like, everyone, it's a thing.
Right.
So that was a big influence. And then when I started to get into choreo, it was more like I was 15. And I joined my first dance company through Miles Yachts. If anybody knows him, y'all all know that Miles was the one that told me where to go.
I never knew that.
So I did my thing there, and that's when I started to pick up choreo. So I was kind of late. I was a late bloomer for that, but my first love was like freestyling. So I was like, I need to do choreo if I want to be a dancer. Like, I'm gonna need to know these things. Blah blah blah. And then I moved to LA, and there's like a whole scheme of people that I met from the time that I joined my first dance company at 15 till the time I moved here at 19. So it was like, or 20, excuse me. So I'd say I had shouting, juking, did some liturgical dancing, started learning choreo, and then one of my first teachers, her name is Robin Sanders, she naturally hit with everything she did. So she taught us choreo, but like everything she did was like zooms, zooms, zooms. Like, she just hit for no reason. We were like, we don't know what she's doing, we're gonna figure it out. And I was mimicking the whole situation. And then I was able to like move here, and then I met a group from Miami named Control Freaks, and I met John Buggs and Now and Switch, all these people. And there were more poppers in Miami, and so I think that all those styles, all those things that I saw growing up really came to light once I became an adult and kind of met with some people who kind of like helped me out with drills and showed me like, okay, you want to be clean, drill this way, drill this. And then I felt more comfortable with my body movement, and so then all of those styles just kind of like came back. I don't think I actually used them.
You see how fast you did it too? Like, you're going to drill.
So yeah, those are styles that I grew up with, but I don't think I started using them until right now.
That's dope.
Yeah, or until I got older.
All right.
You just see him itching out every time. Like, that's like, look at that.
Little things, major reds, like
All right.
everybody, all that.
Another question.
What's on?
Okay, what is it like being a woman in the dance community?
I wanted to be like, ooh, but
Where do you start?
Exactly. I said Joshua, but I'm asking for you. Where do we start? SHEstreet got something on her mind. TT shit.
I'm working on my attitude about it. I'm trying to detach myself from.
oh, this is a real thing.
Okay, let me start with one thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to.
They got their image of how they want you to look and how they want you to be. I guess I can start there with that, and that's the way I feel. I don't know. They try to turn.
Oh, let's get real talk. Real talk. Let's go. Real talk. Let's go.
They do, and they want you to act and be a certain way, and if you're not that, then it's like they throwing you to the side. And then that puts artists, that's growing. We sensitive about our stuff, so then it puts us in this whirlwind of like, okay, who am I, who am this, who am that? But in knowing your confidence, it's like, okay, let me not go there.
No, I'm with it though.
It's just
This is
knowing
real
that, like,
talk.
even when people are saying no, that doesn't mean no to your talent.
Right.
But then as well, it's just this whole persona of how like, oh, I'm a dancer in the industry, like, and like this is what a dancer is supposed to look like, and this is what a dancer is supposed to be, and how a dancer is supposed to dress and act, and this and this and this and this and this. And then it's like when we come along, it's like it's not honest. Like, it's like,
Doesn't come out.
it doesn't come out authentic at all.
Yeah.
Like, they're not honest about women.
No.
They're not.
Can we just go like this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm like, because I don't see.
Okay. I have my own like separate thing being a female DJ.
Right.
But as
You can talk about that too.
Okay, I'll segue to that. But as a female dancer, which I am first, I have amazing curly hair. I straightened it, I colored it, I curled it, I made an afro, I did a bang, I did a whatever, just because I kept hearing that no, and I kept thinking that it was my talent, and then when I got off of that, I was like, well, maybe it's my look, and then it puts you in this place where your look is never good enough.
Yeah.
Now I wanted to be, I could be the token Latina, and they always get like a white, a black, a Spanish, and an Asian girl, and they pick like 4 girls, right? And so now I'm like, okay, I got that. Now this is 10 years ago. I'm probably like a 10-year difference. So the fact that you even have this knowledge at whatever age you are is amazing. Because I didn't know that then. I was still trying to find it, girl. And I traded in, I'm a break dancer. I traded in my kicks for a pair of pumps, and that's whack. And I didn't know that at the time. I was just trying to fit in a place where I know that I wanted to make money doing this for the rest of my life. And so then it no longer became fun, and it became a job, and that's when you get messed up and lost in the world of dance in LA. And so I totally get that. But if you can weave out, like, the more authentic I stay as a DJ, as a female DJ, and I can get caught up, the girls making more money, got the bikini top and that stomach out, and they short. Like, the more I get caught up in that, I still won't be excellent enough. So I just stay true to myself, and when I do book these really cool big gigs at the club or whatever, the guys always be like, who you did to get this? Or here. And I'm like, who I did?
I'm just a good ass DJ, bitch.
Bring your face right here.
Bro.
And I never knew that I was like never expecting that as a DJ. I was still enjoying the ride and having a good time my first year, learning whatever and experience. And then when I got that, it was like, how'd you get here? And I was like, I don't know, who are you? Like, you don't know who I am? I'm DJ so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, my bad. I still don't know who you are, but that's awesome. And they were like, well, how did you get this? And I'm like, I don't even know what to tell you.
favor of the Lord.
Yes.
I know, it's like,
Yes.
I don't even know what to tell you. Like, you know, I just.
Well, just listen to me, DJ. Just listen.
Not
Just
even that. I
listen.
think half of the gigs I book as a DJ is because I'm a girl too, and I found a way to capitalize on that. So, you know what I mean? So before, when it was negative, it's like a complete positive now, and as a woman, it could totally be a complete positive too if you start thinking about it differently, how you start.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like you gotta like paint. I learned that you are the industry, like basically, like you paint your own industry, and like when you do that, they'll come.
And if you stay inspired by the artists like Janet Jackson, she's got big, small, black, white, Asian, short, old, young, like it's those type of artists.
Shouts out to Janet.
Yeah, for
Yes.
doing that.
So
And
then it
making
gives you
that.
give you a little bit of hope, like, because then it's not just the black, white, Spanish, Asian girl or anymore. So then you're like,
That's the same size.
That's the same.
Same height.
I don't know. My perspective is a little interesting because, I've been doing it since I was like 15. So I was coming to auditions out here at Millennium and doing all this stuff, and you know my parents would bring me out here, and we would go in the room and they would do typecasting, and they wouldn't even see me dance. So my parents is like, no, y'all didn't even see her dance. Like, how did you go? Like they mad because like we done drove out here and printed her headshots and did all this, and it's like y'all didn't even see her dance. Like I remember my parents doing that, and I remember just being like, you know what, I don't think dance is for me because we artists and we sensitive about our shit. So for me, it was like a little while where I was just like, you know what, I don't care to be an industry dancer. But after I moved back to LA, because I was going to school out in DC, shout out DC. But after I moved back, I was kind of like, you know, all of my friends out in DC saying that they want to live out here, and for me to just be able to come back home and be with my family, like I feel like that's unfair. So I wanted to live the dream because I knew that I had friends that was wanting to do so, and I'm like, I have the opportunity to do so, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it. And you know, being not just a woman in this industry, but particularly a black woman in this industry, it's like a whole nother level, because it's, for me, I'm all about like woman empowerment. It's a pussy on my head, like it's I believe in women, and I believe in unity amongst us, especially amongst like black people, because we have not had unity for a very long time.
That
so
part.
when we go to the auditions and all the girls are kind of like,
I'm like,
it's like,
show
and I'm
love,
like,
sis.
hey,
So
how you
good
doing?
now.
Good luck. Like I wish
Black
you the
people.
best. Like I think it's hilariously sad.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not a hater. Like I've never been a hater. I give credit when credit is due. So if I see somebody killing it, I'm gonna let you know that you killed it. I'm gonna let you know like you
Right.
look bomb as fuck, and I'm proud of you. Like. So that's one of the aspects that I really hate, and we do it amongst ourselves, you know? So that's one thing, but then when it comes down to it, it's like with the whole choreographer thing, like I literally just had this conversation, especially if they're male choreographers. They like getting dick ridden, and I don't do that. Like
Real talk. I done talked to so many young girls. Yeah, we were doing this, and it's a lot of people. I can just put their name out, and their career might.
I'm not saying like, and I'm not necessarily saying, you know, hoeing or nothing like that, but it's just like the simple fact that you in their face, you kissing ass, like, you know, you giving them all the compliments in the world, liking all their shit, commenting on all their shit, and it's like, that ain't me, bro. Like,
No.
that ain't
It's not,
me,
and it sucks. I was gonna touch on that because that actually works. You know,
It does.
It actually works.
It works.
And so then we're caught in a
Facts,
crossfire outside of just being a woman in the industry. In a crossfire, what do? Do we pretend to go and like someone, or you know? And 9 times out of 10, you end up meeting them, and they actually end up being pretty cool people.
Yeah.
But to not all organically be this person that reaches out to try to figure out, like, most of the time we organically met each other one time in my life, and it was organic and it happened, not with the thought of, oh, I'm gonna meet she because I want her to see me and know who I am.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when you have that intention, it's so awkward. I don't even know how y'all need to do it.
Right.
It's
Now
literally
it's just
like
like
it's a mentality, like
It was
everybody kind of
crazy
just
to
like,
me.
you know, using everybody, and it's like, for me, all the authenticity in dance is like losing its matter, especially because like we got YouTube, and I feel like everybody's original intention is getting put on the backboard, and now everybody's like, well, I have to do this in order to be put on, and it's like you don't necessarily have to do that. And I feel like if you moving with the right intentions, it may be 10 minutes from now or 10 years from now, but God gonna open up that door for you. Can't nobody put you in that place,
Right.
except for God. So it's like, for me, as every time. So for me as a woman, it's just more so of like trying to stay true to myself and understanding, you know, everybody's not gonna like me, but my time will be. And I look at like Allison, and Allison is like the perfect example. Like her opportunity came, and Janet saw her and put her on.
Right.
Where I'm pretty sure everybody was telling her she gotta look like this, she gotta do this, you gotta do that. And no, they saw her for who she was. She was true to herself, and she got put on when it was her time. So
Right.
I just try to keep that in my head, because it can be very discouraging, you know, always being told no over and over again. But it'll be that one day when I get that one yes, and it opens up. It's a done deal. So however long I gotta wait for that, I'll just wait. But in the meantime, like, I ain't about to ride nobody's dick, kiss nobody's ass, or you know, not be true to myself. So that's why I speak my mind.
It's
in
crazy.
everything I do.
And you know, people like, I know people, including like some of my best friends, who worked really hard on their body to get their dream job. And I got that. And I got that, he's a male dancer, so of course it's a little bit easier for him. Because you just work out 5 days and you've got a six-pack.
That's all the story.
But I know people who work really hard at training and getting a tan and doing whatever, and then they have their crossfires of being organic too. And what do I do? Can I get my tattoos? Can I not? What is the artist gonna say no? You know, and still want their dream job, and they book it and they get it. So it's like, that's what you wanted to do and you got it. You know what I mean? So if that's something you want to do and you want to lose weight and you want to dye your hair and you want to look this certain type of way, then live it.
Live your best life.
Because some of the best artists are underground. You don't see them. You don't see them.
Or they're creating. They're creating the stuff for the big world.
So about you, she.
All right.
Cause you was over here.
TT.
I'm gonna try to say everything I have to say shortly. I think for me, from my perspective, being a woman in the industry, it can be fun. I definitely also feel like I've been put in places now where I'm analytical of other people's perspectives, meaning like, I can't get mad at her because she keep looking. I'm gonna look at the overall situation and go, okay, so right now, what you provide is what's needed. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard to separate emotion from business because you have a demand for something, so they have to supply it. You know, Black Panther come out, maybe the demand is we need 400 bald black girls, so we're gonna find them. But maybe before then, it wasn't a demand for them. You know what I mean? So I understand that. And there are like certain things that work that way. I get it. I think for me, my dilemma with being not just a woman in the industry, but the particular type of woman I am in the industry, is I have to deal with a lot of people's projections. I have to deal with, I'm confident with she. I'm fine with me. I think I'm fine. I think I'm lit. I think I'm raw. Not like in a arrogant way. But in a, I love myself. I love myself. Right? And I know facts. Who was in the gym shooting with me? Me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't tell me the work I put in wasn't the right kind of work. And so sometimes I think that when people experience, in particular, not to say other people don't experience it, but when people experience a woman in particular who is quite sound on what she's doing, what she wants to do, and how she wants to do it. Well, we live in a world where lots of things, life even religion sometimes will teach you as a woman you come second.
Right.
So you come second to this person's opinion, the head of this person's whatever, and I think sometimes that when you kind of show up to a place and you're there to work with a person and not leech from a person, people get upset about that because unbeknownst to them, people like being needed.
That right.
People say they don't want leeches. People say they don't want you doing all these things, pulling these things from them. But when you show up in a rehearsal on a set as your own person that respects yourself, particularly as a woman, I think that that's a lie for people.
Yeah.
Because I think now it becomes more of who do you think you are? Even without you saying anything.
You ain't gotta say nothing.
Because you want to show up every day and you want to dress nice. Because nigga, I just dress nice. I just like
Always. She always be fly. She always be fly.
But you have to deal with people. You have to deal with people's insecurities.
Yeah.
And I think as women, because we're naturally more of an emotional being sometimes anyway. I think that people feel like we're supposed to deal with shit and just deal with it because that's just what we do. We just strong, versus I think that if people treated or did some of the same things to some of my male counterparts, it'll be smoke in the city, about the way they treat them or the way people make you feel used, the way people might make you feel like, well, I'm like Texas said, I'm only here for you if you're here for me. So now my job is not just to be here and to be great. I gotta be here, be great. I gotta be a model for you. I gotta be your ear and your shoulder when you just wanna come randomly up to me and just talk about some shit. I gotta be the person that make you look cool when you go on the red carpet. I gotta be the person that make you look cool when you fill in all these job descriptions, right? And honestly, nobody's really trying to sometimes understand what you're trying to invest into for yourself. And I'm not saying that happens with every woman or every person. That's not what I'm saying. But I do know that I've seen a lot of young women who have a grip on what the fuck they want to do and how they want to do it. And they can't seem to get a supportive team of people to stand behind them and do it. However, I've known a plethora of amount of young men who really don't know what the fuck they want to do. And they show up and they just invest in one thing and they can manage to get people to show up and support and jumpstart.
Right.
And I feel like even when you see large groups of people, you might see subcultures of dancers and people like, these dancers, they do this. Like, for example, you can say, these dancers, they're into fashion. These dancers, they also film. These dancers, they also do that. These different subcultures all create their own groups of people that just kind of get together, share knowledge. And every time I see it, it's a bunch of men. Every time. It's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But I'm always trying to figure out, one, what's stopping us from women that's getting together? But two, as men, what's stopping you from allowing a woman into your circle to understand and have the same knowledge for things and the same respect that you receive? You'll often find that you have to always kind of be under somebody. And women do it to you. Women do it to you too.
Right.
Women probably do it more than men. I'm gonna be honest.
Right.
It's easy to rag on men because that's when as soon as you come out your mama, it's just like niggas. Like you have to deal with living in a man's world.
Drop the mic.
You do.
Right.
But
there's a positive.
I think there's a positive to every side. I think that the thing is sometimes because the truth and the way that people are can be very hurtful. I think that as a defense mechanism, we all kind of try to just ignore it and act like it's not happening. But then what happens is the environment becomes worse for not only us, but for other
people.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like
because
for the generations to come.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's
crazy.
like people who 1 week you sleep in the house with 6 of your friends and struggling, and next week you own because the right video went viral at the right time and you started making the right money, and then all of a sudden you start acting like you don't remember when you used to go on auditions and people made you feel less than. Because now the tables have turned. It's not that people want to make changes. It's just that people want to also be the person putting their foot on your neck. You don't want to
just make it.
Yeah, you don't want to make a change.
Right.
You just don't want to be on the other side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think that I know I'm kind of getting off of the subject. You know what I mean? Because it's supposed to be a woman thing.
Nah, it's
but
real
these
talk.
are things that I experienced as a young woman, but also just as a dancer, an artist, a person who tries to find understanding for why people are the way they are with you because of certain things, like I have a vagina, or I'm black, or I have a girlfriend, whatever, for whatever reason, people take these things and they use them to gauge how they are with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have shit to do with me dancing.
That's so good. That's like
Nothing to do with dancing.
I mean,
that's like a study.
right,
Like,
that's me.
If you try to ever like say hi to somebody, this happens all the time. I'm sure to you, but I used to see this with King Charles all the time. Oh, King Charles, what's up? Yeah, it's like he no longer is King Charles. He's that. Yeah. Yo, what's up? Good to see you. And it's like,
Or the poppers, they start popping. I'm like, bro.
oh, how you doing? It's like associated with who you are with what you do.
That's so freaking real.
It happens to everyone. Everyone.
I think it all. What's up?
I hate it. Okay.
Yes. That we can have a whole other conversation after this about.
Right. Alright. Nah, it's cool. Okay, last question is, what do you want your impact to be? What do you want people to know from you?
I can answer that quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. What do I want my impact to be? I want for no young black woman to ever have to travel the path I've traveled ever again. That's my path. No young woman in general. Like, I think that people blaze trails so that you don't have to. And what I'm sick of is showing up in a room with other older black women, and it's like you did no motherfucking work for my life to be easy. You're just here to make it harder. You're here to make it harder, and it's like a weird labyrinth, like that you just stuck in. And my job is to be a happy person, maintain myself spiritually, mentally, and physically, so that I can successfully connect and give back to people in a way that's not all about me.
That part.
That's the goal. Like, whatever will help me be selfish and not and not, I can't. What's the point of not wanting to create a better future for art and people like you? When you dead, nobody gonna remember the fucking God I did the cross. No one's gonna remember it.
Maybe
But people will remember how you made them feel, how you affected them, what you did, the doors you opened, the doors that God opened and allowed you to help with. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. I want change for everybody.
Change.
And I want dance artists to be millionaires.
I just want to be put where I just want my people to live.
Keep dancing and being fine and ain't got nowhere to stay.
No
Living on
no roof.
couch hopping.
Yeah, mine's is very similar. What kind of changed for me is that, like, I got 9 nieces and nephews, and how the world is right now, like, it made me be like, damn, like, it made me afraid for them, but more than being afraid, it makes me angry. Because this has been a cycle, a constant cycle. Y'all know, I don't even gotta say when it started, but it's a constant cycle. So for me, mine's is, it's really like, I want to be able to serve the human race, but I also want to be able to, you know, heal wounds. We got so many wounds in this world because it seems like everybody is so out of touch with knowing that this is a vessel. This is a soul. Like, my ears don't hear. My soul uses my ears in order for my soul to hear. And same with my voice, same with my sight, same with all of my senses. And I think that the more we start to teach our kids, like the youth now, how to align with their true selves, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and all of these senses, when we can kind of have them align and understand it at an early age, then we'll really be able to make some changes. Because, like, it seemed like our generation is the one that, you know, we have social media and the internet to our advantage to tell us, okay, you know, this is what's been going on in America, in every continent, and blase, and we kind of like, oh shit, like, they've been fucking with us this whole time. You know, we're the ones that's like becoming aware of it and becoming more cautious. conscious about it, but at the same time, it's like, you know, we're not the ones that's gonna create the solutions. They're the ones that's gonna create the solution. The little 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds running around right now, they're the ones that's gonna create the solution.
They hate it so much.
And they
hate it.
Oh, girl, I work at a school. Like, if you call, like, if they like start being like, that's why you like Trump. No, I don't. Like, they will ball out. They hate it. And once they start learning about like history and Black history, I was like, so why couldn't you guys stay with us? Like, that's not fair. You guys are so cool. Like, they hate it so much. And like they will cry over it, and like they're crying, they're really crying, and then it's mostly I work with mostly white kids, and they are crying out for us, and I'm like, bro, I have to teach you this right now.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm teaching it, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm teaching you all this stuff because they be like, what's up? I'm like, do you do that to all your friends? Or do you do that to just me? I was like, because you racially profiling me and that's racist. And when I say racist, they be like, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again. I was like, or this is going to be me. I'm going to put this into me. And then one kid, he was like, I'm going to do this every day to everybody. Because he wants to get in. Like, I was like, if you want to learn our culture, learn it. I'm going to need you to learn it first.
Yeah,
and so he was like, what's up? And he do it to all his friends. I was like, well, that's a start.
Yeah. And that's really my impact. I want to be able to, you know, just keep kids aware and keep them conscious because, you know, I look at my nieces and nephews and I'm like, y'all are so beyond your time. Like, y'all been here before and we've all been here before. Like, deja vu, that's not deja vu. You're reliving something that you've already lived before. Because why? We're vessels. We're vessels. Like, we just came back and I feel like, you know, a lot of people are just so caught on themselves, and I mean it increased because of social media. Everybody's looking for instant gratification and all that bullshit, and it's kind of like, you know, that sets what your self-esteem is, but it's really like, what are you doing? Like, are you serving people? Like, did you smile at somebody today? Did you make somebody feel happy? Did you drink water for yourself? Like,
right?
People don't even take care of their
bodies,
take care of themselves. So it's like, let alone like, you're not even like, and I'm probably just rambling, but it's like people are so disconnected from who they were when they jumped in this vessel. And when we get in this vessel, our job is, no matter when we come, no matter what the time is, our job is to make sure that this world is better when we die. And because we're going to come right back and do it all over again. No matter if I'm in a white woman's body, if I'm a freaking tree, or whatever it is. It sounds crazy, but it is what it is.
We are energy. We are all energy.
It's all energy. We literally energy. And
right.
we come back and I'm saying but that's our duty, and you're supposed to find that in whatever means that is for you. And when it comes to artistry, it's even more important because what we're doing, whether it's dance, singing, DJing, cooking, creating designs, whatever artistic thing that is, to be creative is to give thanks. That's your means of saying, like, didn't nobody have to teach me this. This naturally came to me. Yes, I may have perfected it, but it naturally came to me. I naturally fell in love with it. That's because God gave you that in order to give praise, to say, thank you, I'm alive. I can do this. I can do whatever, you know, creative thing that is, because everybody is creative in some means. So being able to impact people through art is giving them a whole nother level of aligning with who they are. So it's a mixture of, you know, art and youth for me, but yeah, like, I just want to serve the people and make this world better in whichever way I can. And if I make an impact on one person or 100 million people, then so be it. And I'll be Martin Luther King, or I'll be Patrice Lumumba, where, you know, some people may not even know who Patrice Lumumba is. You know what I'm saying? I know who he is, but whatever I'm meant to do, then that's what I'm meant to do. But it definitely comes through dance and, you know, spirit.
That's lit.
Long-winded.
In the business of
I'm-
building out the wheel.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that business, and I get a little nervous talking about it. Like while you're speaking, I have butterflies in my stomach because no, that just means something for me, you know. Like that. It comes from like what I'm about to say comes from a place of like real change, and I feel like the impact I want to make in the world is just who I am is the expansion of what it means to be human, and not a whole lot of people. I was on autopilot living my life for a very long time until I figured that out. You know what I mean? So the impact I want to make in the world is not only for the youth. Like each one teach one. If I could reach one, then that one person's going to be inspired. And that only exists through language and communication. So if you have an idea, or if you have a thing in your head, or you have a judgment or a point of view, it's only going to exist in your brain for yourself if you don't get it out. So if you talk to somebody about it, you might just be able to inspire the next and the next and the next. There's so many times where I had a great idea or a feeling, or I feel this and this should happen, or maybe that somebody ought to do that, and that somebody could have been me. That it's like I'm now 31, like I feel very powerful in the world, and I just know my purpose, and this the difference that I can make, whether it's one person or a million. I'm pretty sure it's going to reach in the millions. But you know what I mean? And it's 7 billion. It's 7 billion people in the world, and I know y'all. So like that means something to me. So the more of y'all that I can meet and just share even a little baby part of my story and hear yours, then like on to the next. And like we have 24 hours in a day, and how many people could I meet one day? I used to not be like this, by the way. Like I said, it's overwhelming meeting a lot of people in a day. People are like, yo, you remember me? And I'll be like, nah, I live in LA, and I meet 100 people a day. And now it's my honor, it's my privilege, it's my like pleasure to meet as many people as I can in a day. So, and connect to the people around me. And when I'm done fulfilling my purpose in my day, then I go to my inner circle and I go, yo, how can I help you? What can I do to help you with your day? You need a ride? What you need some money? You need me to film you for your set for tomorrow? What can I do? Can we rehearse? Can we practice? Can we train together?
That's all we want. That's all we want to do.
That's all I want my inner circle to be like. If my inner circle goes from 4 to 40, I'll be happy if we all on the same page too.
Yep. Damn right.
Yeah.
She's the youngest one in here. Okay. It's cool. I feel like.
Yeah, what was it?
What was it?
Yes.
24.
No.
You 24? Oh, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
You got a short soul. You young.
What do you want your impact to be?
Oh, impact. Man, that is a crazy question, especially with where I'm at right now, what I like transformed to. For me, I'm a believer in God, so I want most definitely my impact to be what God's impact wants it to be. Because, you know, I strongly believe I'm put on this earth to work. And in this world and society, they don't want you to know that. They want to have dominance over you. Man wants dominance over man, and it's written that man said have dominance over every animal, every creature, every beast, every bird, everything here, not over man.
Right.
And like I've realized, and I've come to the point where I am having dominance over myself. He said, you are your competitor. And that's what I want to do, and I want to reach the fullest potential of that. You know, I want to die empty. Because I'm at a point where I used to always wish that I could get to this point. I used to always doubt and think, I could imagine where Rebekah could be, but I was always in that mindset of not being there. You know, that I didn't know how to be there until I went to the one who put me together and seen how it all got there. And then that's when everything was unleashed. And that's something that can't be taken away because nothing else was given it. Nothing else gave it to me. And it's like, when you're in that place, it's just it's a humbling and confident place. It's like you have to have the balance to be like humble and like shut up at times and be quiet. And then like at times you have to like be like, okay, but I know. You know, like that about yourself.
Gotta be for sure.
But yeah, and I know like it's crazy because everybody in here knows that one source, but it's coming a time now to where that one source is the one source. And it's like, it's crazy because the more deeper you get into it, the more powerful it ends up coming out, and the more deep it ends up coming out and random. And then it's like, whoa, like what just happened? But it's like when someone knows you and they created you literally from the molecule and out all the way until you're out now, it's like you have no choice but to serve that. So I serve God in that, and that's gonna be the impact He gets to glory.
Okay, let me come behind here and show my sister like 2 seconds.
Yes,
What's up?
Alright, what's up?
Okay, so this was Real Talk, Ladies' Choice. It really got real in here. I hope you guys
Real talk.
Real talk. Like I hope you guys liked it.
I don't know.
We kept it 100, and thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah, for coming through. All right.
Who
peace
gang
out,
gang?
y'all.
Gang gang gang. You're welcome.
Oh, we good.